You know that feeling where there's a calling inside you to do a particular thing? They call it intuition, they call it a gut instinct. The message I want to spread today is to start being very in tune with that gut instinct that you are feeling. It's telling you something, there's a calling there to listen to it. To not allow fears and whatever's happening in here to get in the way of what's happening in here, your heart. I'll tell you an interesting story of why I'm talking about this topic. Growing up, I was a very in my head kind of guy, worrying about what people would think of me, how do I look in public. It was always just a matter of assessing how I'm being judged. A lot of time being spent in my head because of that. And that's very stifling. It doesn't allow for any creativity and expression of who you really are as an individual. So I spent a large portion of my life just being in my head, ignoring what was happening here and spending my time here simply because of the fact that I didn't want to disappoint people. I wanted to impress. I didn't want to not belong to crowds and certain people. So I spent a lot of my time doing that. And as a result, I was incredibly insecure, paranoid. I never could even enjoy moments in my life, all through my high school years, primary school years, high school years, and even the years after that, right? Obviously, I started getting into fitness, becoming more confident, meeting different kinds of people, and that's when I really started to working on myself and my mindset. But I still was here. There was still degrees of trying to prove myself happening. I have to look a certain way. I've got to, come off this way in front of these people on social media because I wanted to be accepted. And I started, obviously, going down the route of personal development and being aware of this and getting around certain people and working on myself, becoming confident, creating a circle around me who could really start shining light on who I was and the kind of person that I can be and where I can start leading from, and just showing and accepting who I was, and being like, hey, don't worry about how you're trying to be. Strip that. I actually love when you're like this, like your true self. I actually connect with that more than this in your head kind of guy that you're trying to be right now. Right? And it was very interesting to me. And I had these sequential moments where I would just completely get out of my head and more into my heart. Couldn't help it. Right? Large emotional outbreaks, if you will, of what I had kept pent up. And to be received with love when I experienced that really showed me how powerful it is to lead from the heart and be truly yourself, How much more relatable that also is to people when they see that side of you. It was incredibly interesting to get that experience and really show me, hey, you can be you. We love that, We love that side of you. So I would continue to have these moments and I'd really start to be, okay, I can open up more, I can open up. I can be myself, I can say what I want to say. I can feel the way that I want to feel about this. And I met this guy by the name of Steve. And this guy has a very great aura and presence about him, He's extremely in touch with energy and just the universe, the world. And he's one of those guys who walk into a room and he'll just look at you with piercing eyes. He'll come right up to you. He'll have some calling and he'll come right up to you and he'll just say, hey, you must lead from the heart. You're all up in here, but you need to open up here and allow that to be a driving force. That's what's going to push you these next steps. He would just say profound statements out of nowhere, and he could just read you. But he's not the one reading you. He's the one getting in touch with the messages that he's getting. So extremely interesting, all right? So around an interesting circle. So basically allowed me to start getting in tune with, hey, what's my heart saying? What's my intuition telling me? What's the universe telling me? And ever since I started living this way, things are just starting to click more. I'm moving faster, getting around people who also resonate with that true intention behind who I am and what I want to do, with that energy that I have. Not people who, when you try to pretend to be someone and you bring the wrong people in, only to realize that, or when they do realize who you are, they're like, ew, who's this? And it's a mismatch, because you put a mask on, you brought in the wrong people. Not your people. So essentially we all operate on a certain vibrational frequency. We emanate that based on who we are. and we attract people who also have that similar vibration and frequency. So when you're trying to be someone else who you're not, and you put out a different vibration and frequency, you will attract what that brings. But that won't actually be what you resonate with. Make sense? So when you learn to drop the bullshit, stop trying to be someone else, and operate from your vibrational frequency, who you are, who you want to be, now you start creating a reality around that. And that's why they say law of attraction, right? You put that energy out, you receive it back. It's very much true. It's how the world works. So taking that another step, when you start realizing that and curating people around you and operating your life this way and being more in touch with who you are, I'll then add on to that to then start listening to that calling inside you of doing what you know you should be doing. For example, this location right now, we're going to move from here. It's a nice place, don't get me wrong. But with the people that I'm living with right now, we see a grander vision. We have this intuition inside of us that says, no, we can do more. We can create a better environment that's going to be more inclusive and build this tribe that we're doing even further. And that's exactly what we're doing. We had that thought only a couple of days ago. We've already got the applications approved. We're moving in 2 weeks. We try to get it done sooner. We take action when that feeling comes, when that intuition comes, because it's a short window, right? That's that momentum to push you and propel you where you know you should be going. But if you don't listen to it, inertia will start to happen. And I'm going to relocate this camera because it's starting to rain. Right here. That's when inertia is created. When you don't listen to that voice, you miss that window. So you got to start listening to it. It's telling you something what you need to do, and you need to act on it. I need to go build that business. I need to go say hello to that person right now. I need to tell them this particular thing right now. You got to do it. Oh, I'll tell them later. No, now is the time. If you can start acting like that, watch how much faster your world changes. Watch. It's telling you something. It's your conscious calling you. Okay? So start to operate from that place. Listen to that voice. Start operating from the heart. Don't miss the cues of what your conscious is telling you where you need to go. You miss those cues, you're going to have a very hard time. You're not going to change very much. You're going to stay stuck like most people do. They miss the cues. They know, they get those cues. They know what they should be doing at what times. They ignore them. Greatest disservice you can do to yourself and the world around you. Listen to the cues. Take action on the cues when you get them. Live your life this way. Live with the heart. Be true to your intention. Stay authentic. And don't be resistant to change. Nothing here is permanent. Nothing. This place isn't permanent. This vessel isn't permanent. So don't be attached to it. Oh, you move so fast. 1 week you did this and now you're a completely different person. Great. That's fucking growth. I wouldn't want a life where everything's the same all the time. It's not how that's not a great life where you can look back and say, damn, look at that. Great life is when you're seeing the sequential growth, not when you're just sticking in a job for 5 years straight because of security, where they just let you go anyways because you ain't a good fit anymore. You became redundant. Fuck that. Listen to the cues. Step into who you can be. Step into the growth. And just keep propelling forward. Don't be resistant to the change. Don't attach along the way. Okay? Don't attach along the way. We're always evolving, always changing to bigger and better things. If you attach, you hold on to what shouldn't be anymore, it's not right, that's when shit gets weird. It gets weird. You hold on to things too long, it gets toxic relationship, not really meant for that person anymore. But because you're so attached to it, you stick in it longer than you should. And then it just fucks both of you up. Sometimes you gotta know and go with the flow. Okay, I'm going this way now. Well, nah, it's all good. Nah, it's all good. I'm gonna go this way now. You're gonna keep riding that wave of educated decisions in alignment with your intuition. Trust that process, as you are always going to grow anyways. You're always going to look for the next best thing to do. And if you can do that with that drive from the heart and that intuition, the cues that have been sent to you, just watch what happens. It's been absolutely life-changing for me and everyone around me. Do it for yourself.